Good evening, this is Capital News for Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. I'm Ivor Wharton. Here are the stories we're tracking this evening. No timeline for return to normal power as Linden Utility pauses new connections. President and opposition leader continue to clash over Long Creek Farm allegations. We will return with the news.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2026 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GCOM registration office that is responsible for your area of residence to apply for registration, name change, or correction. You must have the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate or valid passport in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 30, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
30 years of dreams, 30 years of wins, one big celebration. Daily Millions is turning the excitement all the way up for the Guyana Lottery Company Limited's 30th anniversary. For 30 years, we have been creating winners, sparking dreams, and rewarding lucky players across Guyana. From July 31 to August 31, 2026, buy $1,000 or more in Daily Millions tickets for a chance to win millions. More tickets mean more chances, more excitement, bigger wins. Check the press posters and social media for details. Must be 18 and over to play. So celebrate, play, and win with Daily Millions today. A ticket today could make you rich today.
Thanks for staying with us on Capital News. No timeline for return to normal power in Linden. The Linden Town Council on Wednesday convened a stakeholder meeting to address the ongoing electricity crisis affecting residents and businesses in the community. Representatives from the Linden Electricity Company, BOSAI, Linden Utility Services Cooperative Society Limited, and the Ministry of Public Utilities attended the session, where it was confirmed that a 1.5 megawatt generator is expected to arrive Friday and become operational the following week, offering some relief.
As mentioned before, and the representative from BOSAI already mentioned that on Friday they will be receiving a 1.5 megawatt generator that should be in operation during the following week. That should bring some relief. We're also outside of the BOSAI arrangement. I mentioned that in my statement earlier. We're looking to add another 4.5 megawatt or thereabout outside of the BOSAI arrangement in the weeks following. I don't want to give specific deadlines or so.
Despite this, the officials could not commit to a firm date for the system returning to normal, saying it depends on the logistics of installing additional generation capacity, including a solar farm.
Following that, in December, we should be seeing a 4 megawatt of solar farm being introduced, and then another 11 later down in the year. But we won't stop there. As I said before, we monitor and we do forecasting of the demand, and then we organize projects to meet those demands.
It was also confirmed that new residential and commercial electricity connections are effectively on hold until additional capacity comes online.
We are already at our peak. We're depending on 1.5 megawatts extra. Then we have to wait on the solar. that will be introduced by December. So they will obviously have to wait because we cannot overload the system, overload the grid, and so they will have to wait. So persons will have inquire about what do they have to do in order to receive electricity. But as it is now, we cannot say yes and we cannot say no. All we can say is wait.
Officials maintain they are confident of meeting demand going forward, pointing to ongoing forecasting and phased capacity additions, but residents and business owners at the meeting pressed for a clearer long-term sustainability plan rather than short-term fixes. Mayor Dominic Blair said the council will compile the concerns raised and follow up directly with the relevant agencies. President and opposition leader continue to clash over Long Creek farm allegations. President Irfanali continues to deny any wrongdoing in relation to his Long Creek farm as he and opposition leader Asruddin Mohammed continue to clash. On Tuesday, President Ali at a press conference responded to allegations raised by the opposition leader, saying he has done nothing wrong and maintaining that his assets have been declared to the Integrity Commission. He further accused the opposition leader of being a criminal.
He himself having allegations of murder. He himself having allegations of robbing the country and its taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars. So, in any fair system, credibility is important. How credible is the person that's making the allegation? How credible are the allegations? And in the farm itself, you've seen the credibility, even from the acreage. So there is a move. I agree with you. There is a move to paint the administration or paint the president in a particular way.
He also encouraged persons to utilize the courts if they feel wronged.
And I am very clear. My advice to every single person is to utilize the courts when wrongful allegations are made against you, when you are being maligned.
However, following the president's press conference, the opposition leader denied the allegations leveled against him.
When did you know I was a criminal? Was it when you were collecting my money? Was it when you rolled around in my bulletproof vehicles? When you sprawled off enjoying life in my armored vehicle because you were scared? Was it when you were using my many security weapons? Did I become a criminal only when I became your political opponent? And if you have evidence that I am a criminal, why are you withholding it from the state? You too should be charged in that case. Take it to the police. Go to court. Every time I release these videos exposing corruption in the PPP, instructions are given to arrest people and try to have them implicate me in a crime.
He also called on the president to provide proof that his statements are false.
And let me say this to Irfan. Address the message, not the messenger. If what I said about your farm is false, prove it. If what I said about your government is false, prove it. If what I said about the contracts, the hospitals, the oil and gas sector, and the treatment of the Guyanese people is false, prove it. Do not attack me and ignore the matter at hand. If the message is false, destroy the message. The messenger does not matter if the facts are right.
President Irfanali has committed to taking the media on a tour of the farm, but has not yet said when that tour will take place. More news after this break.
Guyana Lottery Company brings to you Instacash Penalty Shoot. Step up and take your shot to win up to $2 million instantly. Get your Instacash Penalty Shoot ticket today from your nearest authorized agent. Every ticket gives you a chance to win big cash. Simply match your numbers to any winning number and claim the prize shown. It's quick, easy and full of excitement. Instacash penalty shoot. Take your shot, score your cash, and win instantly. Goal! Remember, a ticket a day could make you rich today. Must be 18 years or older to play. Play responsibly.
My man Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo?
We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Thanks for staying with us. Opposition MP demands full disclosure on Guyana's solar farm investments. Opposition Member of Parliament Ganesh Maipal is calling on government to publish detailed performance data for every solar farm across Guyana, questioning whether the facilities are delivering the electricity, savings and energy security officials have promised. In a statement, Maipal noted that solar farms have been built on or under development at Mabaroom and Lethem, Bartica, Madia, Wikenham, Lebwan, and under the Gaisol program at Underneming, Hampshire, Prospect, Trafalgar, and Charity, among other locations, with additional facilities planned for Linden. He said that the combined investment runs into the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, with the Gaisol program alone valued at more than $83 million. While government has reported projected savings and generation figures at several sites, including Lethem, Trafalgar, Bartica, Underneming, and Charity, Maipal said these remain largely projections rather than verified performance data. The Member of Parliament is calling on the Ministry of Public Utilities and Aviation, the Guyana Energy Agency, and the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated to publish for every solar farm the actual amount spent, the contractors involved, monthly electricity generation, actual diesel displaced, and monetary savings achieved, current operational status, battery performance, and whether excess electricity is being stored, exported to the grid, or wasted. Maipal said the distinction matters because not all facilities operate the same way, with some connected to the national grid and others functioning within isolated local systems. He said the government owes the public a full accounting of the investments, stating Guyana cannot simply count solar panels and call that energy transformation. 26-year-old Linden miner fatally shot at Prassville, Wismar.
A 26-year-old Linden man was fatally shot on Wednesday morning. The deceased has been identified as Kieran McDonald, a miner of Block 22, Wismar. According to a statement issued by the Corporate Communication Unit of the police force, McDonald was shot at Prassville, Wismar. The suspect is said to be a 29-year-old man of Half Mile, Wismar. The two were said to be involved in an altercation following which the suspect allegedly retrieved a firearm from a motor car and discarded one round in McDonald's direction, hitting him in the right side of his chest. The 26-year-old miner was rushed to the Linden Hospital complex where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The 29-year-old suspect was arrested by the police later and escorted to the Wismar police station, where he remains in custody assisting with the investigation. The firearm has not yet been recovered, according to the police. Reporting for Capital News, I am Olinda Poole.
We will return with more news.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2026 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all Guyanese who meet the eligibility criteria to apply for registration. By so doing, you would be ensuring that you are a issued a national identification card and are included in the official list of electors for future elections, provided you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on November 30, 2026. You need to apply for a transfer if you now live at a different address than the one you were registered at. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back to Capital News. Journalists should never need permission to ask difficult questions, former U.S. ambassador tells CBU conference. Journalists should never be required to seek permission before asking difficult questions, and governments should not expect the press to avoid questions simply because they create discomfort for those in power. That was the message from John Freely, director of the Center for Media Integrity of the Americas, at the opening of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union's conference in Guyana on Tuesday.
We believe that journalists should never be required to ask permission before asking difficult questions, and governments should not expect journalists to avoid asking those questions just because they create tension and make those who might hold power uncomfortable.
Freely, a former U.S. ambassador, argued that free press should never be viewed as adversarial to government, but rather as one of democracy's core safeguards.
Free press is not an enemy of any government. A responsible, independent press is one of democracy's most important safeguards. It can be irritating. It can be persistent. It can sometimes get things wrong, and when it does, the press has a sacrosanct responsibility to correct that record. But that is not a defect of democracy. That is democracy doing its job.
He said scrutiny of government is not disrespect, but the very mechanism that enables good governance to function.
That scrutiny is not disrespect. It is accountability. And accountability is not an obstacle to good government. Accountability is what makes good government possible.
Freely made an appeal to government officials to protect journalists who criticize them, not only those who praise them.
Protect the journalist who criticizes you and respect the journalist who questions you. Because when you defend the freedom of the journalist who disagrees with you, you're not defending your opponent. You're not showing weakness. You're defending your own democracy, and you are showing great strength.
Freely's remarks came as he presented the CBU's inaugural Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom Award to veteran Belizean journalist Jules Vasquez of 7 News Belize. And in the regionally, the Caribbean Media Corporation CMC reports that the Barbados-based Caribbean Examination Council CXC on Tuesday launched a Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate, CTEC, describing it as a game changer. CXC Registrar and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Wayne Wesley, speaking at the ceremony where the regional examination body presented the results of its 2025-2026 exams to students across the region, said the CTEC pilot in mathematics was highly successful in the May-June 2026 examinations. According to CXC, it will present results for the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE, Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC, Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate, and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, with particular attention being placed on CSEC Mathematics and English, which are compulsory subjects across the region. It said that mathematics pass rate increased from 36% in 2024 to 39% in 2025, while the English A pass rate rose from 76% to 80%. However, the English B pass rate declined from 84% in 2024 to 69% last year. With the approval of the Board of Governors, CXC said it is pleased to officially launch the Caribbean Targeted Education Certificate CTEC. CTEC takes the subjects the same syllabus, the same standard, the same rigorous standard, and breaks them down into focus modules that students can master and be accessed on and be certified for step-by-step, Wesley told the ceremony. In other words, CTEC is fit, focused, individualized learning. Under its guidance, under its guiding target framework, every module completed is a credential earned that is banked, portable, and that builds towards the qualification, he said, adding that if life interrupts a learner's journey, as life sometimes does, they no longer have to leave with empty hands. And that has brought us to the end of this edition of Capital News. On behalf of the news team, I'm Ivor Wharton. Thank you for staying with us and do enjoy the rest of your evening.